championship against the Gavilan College Rams. Welcome once again, Dave Polito, joined by Steve McElroy. And as you can see by the picture on the screen, not a pretty day. It has been raining constantly since about 8 o'clock this morning. No sign of it letting up. It has not been really a strong, hard rain, and it's not very windy, but it has been going constantly. And Steve, last year, Butte College, fantastic performance in the Dairy Bowl.
Yeah, the Roadrunners came in last year and dominated the game and won 51-21. Today's going to be more of a passing game. However, we had a challenge before the game today, as you look down on the field, to find a live blade of grass on that field. It's in terrible condition. There's no live grass, and there's a lot of mud in the center of the field, so it's going to affect the passing game, and we expect to see both teams throw about 40 times today. Now we take a look at the last time these two teams met. Actually, this was the Garlic Bowl in 1988. Gavilan defeated Butte 12-0, scored both those touchdowns in the first period. And then the next time they met, 1989, Butte with a little bit of revenge down there and came away with a 10-7 victory. Two low-scoring games. We expect this game to be much higher as far as the scoring goes.
And as you can see, they've played two common opponents, one Modesto, and Butte fared very well against Modesto. Gavilan, that's their only loss of the season. It came early in the year, but Gavilan, you have to look at that and wonder. But then you look at the Foothill game. They just blew out Foothill. No problem. Both teams easy offensively and easy game defensively. So that common opponent might be a better barometer of how to do it, because maybe against Modesto, Gavilan just had a little letdown.
And there we take a look at the yardage comparison for the Roadrunners. The Roadrunners have run the ball effectively this season, but Joe Hughes has played in 7 games and effectively passed for the Roadrunners, and that's what we look for, more passes today, in talking to the coaches before this game.
It should be a wide open game, and Butte College comes into this game at 8-2, and they're ranked 10th in the state. They're hoping to finish once again in the top 5 in the state. There you see Butte All-Conference once again well represented. Joe Hughes, fantastic year. Joe Johnson, an all-school record in catches and in yardage and in touchdowns. And of course, in the middle right there with a number of linebackers, as usual for Butte College, Dan Lucas, co-defensive MVP of the conference, in a fantastic year. And he's really the spearhead of that defense. And as you saw in the yardage comparison, only 9 yards per game on the ground, but it's going to be more important for them to stop Gavilan through the air.
Yeah, Gavilan has their quarterback, Brent Evans, a great quarterback as far as size goes. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. He never runs the football when he's going down the... he only has, I think he has negative 100 yards rushing the ball, but throwing the ball, he has 3 receivers that he uses. The 3 leading receivers, one is a running back, one is a tight end, and one is a wide receiver. For the Roadrunners, then again, Joe Hughes, the quarterback today.
And Joe Hughes, a fantastic year. He threw for 22 touchdowns, and is really important. He should be the MVP of the game if Butte College wins. He must play well. This is not going to be a ground game. And the person he wants to hit an awful lot is number 1, Joe Johnson. As I mentioned, he set school records in everything. One game, I believe he had 5 touchdown or receptions, 13 TDs for the year. And as I mentioned, Joe Hughes threw 22. So if you're going to throw in the end zone, look for Joe Johnson to get the ball a lot. But obviously, as it has been in years past, Butte College's defense leads the way. And leading that defense, as I mentioned, the defensive co-MVP of the conference, Dan Lucas. The defense on a whole allows 211 yards per game, only 9 on the ground. They're going to come in with a lot of different looks for Gavilan to deal with. Sometimes they're going to rush 3 passers. Sometimes they're going to rush 7 defensive linemen. So it's really important for them to stop the pass, because that's Gavilan's strength.
Well, that's what's going to be big in this game. For those of you who don't follow the Roadrunners, they just have that bear defense, a blitzing defense, and they've introduced 5 new coverages defensively to try and stop the passing game of Gavilan. And there we take a look at the all-conference players represented by Gavilan. They're well represented as well, both offensively and defensively. Their defense is also ranked very high in the state. Same type of defense as the Roadrunners. It's a defense that can stop the run and needs to stop the pass today, the passing of Joe Hughes. And the key players on that team, again, I pointed out Brent Evans, the quarterback. Evans has thrown this, in his career, has thrown for 4,000 yards. This season, he has been very effective with over 20 touchdown passes on the year. And then their running back, Jason Bracey, is not much of a receiver out of the backfield. As we take a look at Evans getting ready there on the sidelines. Evan does not run the ball, but he gives the running task to Jason Bracey, who has rushed for 1,140 yards this season and has 11 touchdowns on the year. The other standout player for their team is a former quarterback. It's Jim Singleton. Singleton has 5 interceptions on the year. There you see him, 6'2", 220 pounds. He was a big quarterback when he played quarterback, but after the injury, he's become the most effective defensive player on the team, and he could have a few interceptions here today if he can read Hughes.
Very interesting when you're talking about that linebacker, because Brent Evans, as you mentioned earlier, is not a rollout type quarterback. But when they had Singleton there last year, they were an option type team. So it's a different look for Gavilan. But in talking to Coach Grigsby, he says he doesn't anticipate anything different from Gavilan in those 2 games, in '88 in the Garlic Bowl, where Gavilan won 12-0, and then the rematch back down in Gilroy on Gavilan's home field, where Butte came away with a 10-7 victory. So coming up next, the 2nd annual Producers Dairy Bowl, Butte College versus Gavilan College.
BCTV sports coverage of the 1991 Producers Dairy Bowl was made possible through the generous contribution of Hooker Oak Distributors of Chico, distributors of Miller and Stroh's Beer, along with Snapple Natural Beverages. If it isn't found in nature, it isn't found in Snapple. Stratton's Market of Paradise, 5760 Sawmill Road. KFMF Radio of Chico, 93.9, the home of rock and roll. Orville Safe Lock and Door Company, 2130 Lincoln Street in Orville. Call 534-0950. Mangrove Pharmacy, 1046 Mangrove in Chico, 343-4296 for all your pharmaceutical needs. First Interstate Bank of Orville, 2001 Orodam Boulevard. First Interstate Bank, we go the extra mile for you. Lindo, Hanna, and Abbott, Insurance and Financial Services, 1357 East Lasson Avenue, Chico. Medeiros Brooks Chevron, 9th and Main, downtown Chico, open 24 hours a day. All the best video of Orville, 1915 Orodam Boulevard, where all our name implies. Steve's Easy Towing, 24-hour dispatch, 898-1429. Personalized Answering Business Services, 330 Wall Street in Chico, 343-8591. Orchard Lanes, 2397 Esplanade in Chico. Honda of Orville, 1850 High Street. Country Smorgy, 2586 Olive Highway in Orville, where every night is family night. Connections Dating Service, 898-1728. Let Connections Dating Service help you meet someone special. Chico Physical Therapy, 530 Cohasset Road in Chico, 891-1366. First Associated Securities Group, 962 Mangrove in Chico. See Ted Bryson for your stocks, bonds, and investing needs. Kings Club, Casino and Nightclub, 580 Orodam Boulevard in Orville.
All set for action here. Gavilan won the toss, deferred, and decided to kick off. Very interesting play right there. Joe Johnson back deep to receive on one side. The other side, number 16, O.J. Rosero. Jeff Crowell to kick off. A squib kick goes down, and that's Joe Johnson. Has it go through his legs. O.J. Rosero scooped it up, trying to get to the outside. Is not finding much room, and using his speed, and does a good job of getting it past the 20-yard line.
Well, that was an interesting call that time, electing to kick off to start the ball game, maybe due to the wind. The wind will be blowing in the Roadrunners' face here in the first quarter, probably about a 10-mile-an-hour wind that they will be going up against.
Now, Steve, we anticipate, as you see Joe Hughes coming on, a fantastic year. Butte College record for 22 touchdowns. That is so un-Roadrunner-like. It is amazing. But Joe Hughes has not had the steady, solid running back behind him all year. They've been platooning. They come out in an I formation. Bob Gaither and Mark Bebeau in the setup. Hughes, a quick drop, looking deep for Joe Johnson. He is dropped at the 15-yard line. Big defensive play made by number 99, Larry Holloman for Gavilan.
Very un-Roadrunner-like to start off a ball game with a passing play on first down, but that's what the coaches told us they wanted to do here today. That time, the three receivers were going out on fairly long patterns as well. They weren't going for the little dump-off pass.
That'll set up a second down and 17. Ball spotted on Butte's 15-yard line. Once again, the weather is continuing to rain throughout the afternoon. A stiff but not really strong breeze coming, as Steve mentioned, into Butte College's face. Once again, the same I formation. Play action to Brown. Hughes rolling out, looking over the flat, and in and out of the intended receiver's hands. He was looking for Mike Cooper, and it was a good pass.
Mike Cooper, also a linebacker, the tight end on the play. And that time the receivers once again getting a workout, going up deep, trying to set up something over the middle for the tight end.
And so oftentimes, Steve, in this type of weather-type game with the rain and the softness of the field and the slippery conditions, it usually favors the offense because they know where they're going. Third down and long. Third down 17. Just underway for the second annual Producers Dairy Bowl. Butte trying to defend their crown. They beat Fresno City last year, 51-21. Hughes on a rollout, getting a little pressure. Will throw short, and that is to Matt Short. Just out of bounds, but well short of the first down. So Butte College will have to give it back to Gavilan. Gavilan a fine defensive stand for the first time.
Well, in about 5 years of doing Roadrunner football, that perhaps is the first time we've ever seen 3 passing plays in a row to start off a ball game for the Roadrunners. Obviously, they want to establish that.
Jim Merrill will do the punting for Butte College. Back deep to receive for Gavilan is number 22, Robert Gooden, and he plays a big part in the Gavilan offense. He's one of the big-time receivers for the Rams. Seems like Gavilan is setting up for the return. Merrill, a bad kick, short, and it takes a Gavilan bounce. Butte will down at about the 47-yard line, so fantastic field position for Gavilan to take over their first possession.
Be interesting to see what Gavilan will try and start off the game. We know that they're a big threat as far as the passing game. Perhaps they might try and establish a running game early, going for the opposite thing that you would expect from the films.
Well, as we mentioned, Butte College per game average during the regular season, 9 yards on the run and over 200 yards for the pass. Brent Evans, you got to be careful of this guy. Yeah, he's a pocket passer, but he's very good if he has time. One running back formation, 3 wide receivers split out to his left. A short roll and another short pass. That's Gavilan's forte, in and out of the intended receiver's hands, dropped by Robert Gooden.
And Gooden made sure he made the tackle there after the incomplete pass. Wanted to show some physical ability on the first play.
And Steve, with the Bear defense and with a lot of people up at the line of scrimmage, short passes is the way to beat it.
Yeah, the Roadrunners will have that pressure, and they should stop the running game fairly effectively. But they have added 5 new defensive coverages for this game.
Second down and 10. Ball spotted on Gavilan's, or Butte's 47-yard line. Once again, back to pass, looking in the crease, and a good defensive play made. Batted down by number 58, Matt Gulbranson. Penalty flag on the field. A legal man downfield for the Rams. Be interesting to see if Butte College takes a penalty or makes them go 3rd and 10. Seems like Butte College is declining the penalty. They do, so they want Gavilan to have to go 3rd down and long, 10 yards to go to earn the first down.
Joseph comes into the ball game as a replacement now. Wide receiver, he'll line up on the left side.
Once again, 3 wideouts to the left. The only running back, Jason Bracey. Be careful of him on this type of play because obviously Butte College looking for the pass. Brent Evans, trouble with the snap, and he'll roll out to the left again. Sidearm, nice sling across the middle. It'll be 1 yard short of the first down. Reception made by Eric Jennings.
Well, the play was run very effectively, but it's just 1 yard short of the first down. Jennings comes into the game with 38 receptions on the year. He's the leading wide receiver on the team. We pointed out in the pregame that the 3 top receivers, one is a running back, one is the wide receiver, and the other one is the tight end, so they mix it up very well offensively.
First big play of the ballgame, Coach Bill Perkins of the Gavilan College Rams decides to go for it. 4th down, a long one. They need to get just inside the 37-yard line of Butte. This time, 3 wide receivers split to the right. Brent Evans changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Jason Bracey behind him. And the slot. 7 men at the line of scrimmage. A blitz on Evans, and the blitz worked. He had to throw it too early. Intended for Eric Jennings. Broken up by Anthony Canella.
Canella that time was the only defensive back on the near side. He was the closest one to the sideline. Gave a 10-yard cushion to the wide receiver on that play, and that's why they went that direction. However, the pass was not thrown well.
Brent Evans definitely took a lick on that one and had to throw it early. So Butte College holds on the defensive stand. Joe Hughes trots back out onto the field to take over for the second possession for the Roadrunners. Once again, an I formation for Hughes. Johnson and Atkins at wide receiver. Hand up straight up the middle to the goal. Not much room there.
Again, last year, Eddie Stewart was the leading back for the Roadrunners with probably 80% of their yardage. This year, they have 3 running backs around the 500-yard mark for the season.
There you see Bobo and what he's done in 1991. And as Steve was just talking about, a lot of platooning coming and going in. In fact, right now, going out is Bob Gaither, one running back. Brown comes in. So it'll be Bobo and Hank Brown in the backfield. I formation once again. Short drop, looking for Johnson on the hitch and go, and there was no go to it. And down goes Hughes. Making the sack, number 77, Clint Colin.
Colin, 6'3", 210 pounds, showing some speed that time and getting around the tackle.
Second sack of the ball game for the Gavilan Rams. Joe Hughes having a little conversation with Joe Johnson. Wanted Johnson deep, but he was not open. Big loss on the play, 9 yards. 3rd down and 19.
Brown goes out of the ball game, and Gaither comes back in for the Roadrunners.
Once again, surprisingly, on a 3rd down and long situation, only 2 wide receivers in for Butte College. Straight drop back for Hughes. Plenty of time. Lost a nice one to Joe Johnson. He's there, and there's the completion and the first down.
Nice pattern by Johnson. He has 1,184 yards, the leading receiver coming into this game, and the Roadrunners get the ball into Rams territory.
A 25-yard completion from Joe Hughes to Johnson, the combination that Butte College needs to see many times to be successful in this ball game.
There's a look at the statistics for the year. 13 touchdowns and 1,178 yards, 2 Butte College records for Joe Johnson.
Once again, an I formation, hand off to Hank Brown. The ball leading the way, trying to find a little hole, and Gavilan shuts it down in a big hurry, only a gain of 1 yard.
Hank Brown doesn't seem to run with a lot of speed. He's a very shifty running back, and the field conditions are not conducive for the kind of running that Hank Brown likes to do.
Exactly right there with Hank Brown, the type of runner. It reminds you, since he wears number 20 of Barry Sanders, he likes to stop and go. And on a field like this, once you stop, you usually go straight down.
Joe Johnson comes out wide again to the near side.
Hughes staring into a 4-man front for Gavilan's defense. Rolling out to Johnson's side and dumps it underneath the Bobo. Bobo has a little running room, and he gets enough for the first down. Nice play, nice short dink pass from Hughes to Bobo.
Right now, the Roadrunners moving effectively, and this does not look like the Roadrunner team that we have seen all year. They've run the ball very effectively, but they're really mixing it up here with long, short, and short passing. They knew that they had to step up to a new level offensively here today, and they are doing it so far.
Matt Short into the ball game at one wide receiver, replacing Joe Johnson. So it'll be Atkins and Short. The Bowen Gaithers in the backfield in the I formation behind Hughes. Pitch goes to Gaithers, and he has a little running room to the outside, but Gavilan, with their good team speed defensively, pushes it back, and he'll lose a yard. On pursuit, one of them, Nick Maritini, and also number 51, John Lupton.
This defense for Gavilan has 22 interceptions on the year, so their defensive backs have been playing very effectively, along with one of their linebackers, Singleton, with 5 interceptions himself.
You see Joe Johnson bringing back into the play, replacing Matt Short. They say it's a loss of 2 yards. Just 5 minutes into the contest, no score. Second annual Producers Dairy Bowl down at Fresno City College. Hughes, 7-step drop. Looking deep downfield, and Atkins was bumped, and there's the flag. Gavilan screaming, saying that it was not a catchable ball on defense. For Gavilan, I wasn't too sure if it was number 20 or number 9, but one of them definitely bumped him.
Got there a little bit early. What they're doing is they're having 2 defensive backs cover out there, one short and one deep, and that time the deep man came up and hit Johnson before the ball got there.
I believe the call will go against Paul Giacalone, number 20 for the Rams. And that'll give Butte the first down deep into Rams territory. Ball will be spotted exactly on the 20-yard line.
That was a good deduction you made there. His family sitting right by us, so you knew that the penalty was on Giacalone.
Ball spotted on the far right hash mark. First and 10, handoff goes to Gaithers, and he's met it immediately in the backfield. Nice play made by Mike Barnes.
Well, so far the Roadrunners' running game has not worked at all.
Gavilan doing a fantastic job of beating the offensive lineman off the ball and getting into the backfield before anything can develop on the ground game. But Joe Hughes has moved the team down through the air. No gain on the play, second down and 10. Finally now Butte College goes with just a one-back setup with the bow. Three wide receivers to the left. Matt Short, Atkins, and Joe Johnson. A timing pattern to Bobo. He catches it and just stepped out of bounds. Excuse me, that's Mike Cooper down to the 1-yard line. Nice touch by Hughes.
Carl Swanson was defending on the play, the linebacker, and he never looked up for the football.
Little deception used by the Roadrunners as Hughes had 3 receivers to his left and no hesitation whatsoever. A short drop and just lobbed it nicely to Cooper. First down, goal to goal from the 1.5-yard line. Very important here. When Butte College scores first and starts strong, they usually have no problem. Quick snap, Bobo up the middle, he's in the end zone. First touchdown goes to Butte College.
Bobo over right guard, and the defense was very confused when the play started. There were probably about 5 Rams running around as the play started in the secondary.
So nearly 6 minutes have gone by in the first quarter. Butte College draws first blood. Mike Merrill in to attempt the extra point. Fine drive by the Roadrunners. Merrill's extra point is up, and it is good. Butte College is on the scoreboard first. They have taken the lead over the Gavilan College Rams, 7-0, and Steve, fantastic Hughes passing the ball downfield, rarely relying on the running game.
Well, they were stopped on the first drive, but that second drive was exactly how they drew it up in practice. They were dumping the ball off, and they ended up hitting it back out of the backfield. Did a lot of things offensively there that we haven't seen much this season. And, you know, they've shown that they can move the ball without relying on the running game.
That drive went 62 yards on 8 plays and only took up 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So very apparent there that not much running done, and when it was done, there was no place to go. Gavilan does a good job of plugging the holes, but they need to be a little bit tighter on Butte College's receivers.
I think it's not. I heard 23. I'm not sure.
So the Roadrunners have had the ball twice so far. Gavilan has had it just once, and they went for it on a 4th down and were unable to make it, and that's what gave the Roadrunners good field position around the 40-yard line.
Pat Winchell set to do the kicking off, and there you see Jason Bracey, very dangerous back there in kickoff returns, and also joining him, someone you can't overlook, Robert Gooden.
Of course, we're keeping it, too.
There you see Gooden on the year. He has taken one back the distance. A short kick, and it'll be taken by Jack O'Malley. Trying to find some room, but doesn't. But still good field position for Gavilan. They'll take over on their own 27-yard line. And as you mentioned, Steve, Giacaloni's family was walking by. They wanted to make sure every announcer, anyone with a microphone, knew how to pronounce his last name. A large contingent of the Giacalonis just sitting to our right.
Well, it looks like they are not going to try the running game much against the Roadrunners, and again, they're coming out with 3 wide receivers split to the right side.
Once again, Bracey, the only back in the backfield, and he'll get the ball off tackle, straight at the middle, and he'll pick up a few yards. But did he drop the ball? He did. And Butte College gets it back on the fumble. Picking it up for them was number 25, Donnie Taylor. Bracey lost the ball as he spun through the pack. Butte College takes over.
You can see Evans coming off the field dejected there. And the Roadrunners get a huge break here, and now will begin their 3rd possession at the 30-yard line of the Rams.
You see Jeff Forges, the defensive coordinator, quickly setting in the signals for his defensive unit. Big opportunity for Joe Hughes and the Roadrunners to take an early big lead here. They already lead 7-0, 9 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the first quarter. High formation once again. Gaithers his tailback, Bebeau fullback. It'll go to Bebeau. He'll bounce it outside, trying to find some room, but once again, Gavilan with good team speed and team pressure will drop it for literally no gain. They might give him 1.
That's one thing I'm not sure we pointed out. Gavilan probably has a little bit more speed than the Roadrunners, but the Roadrunners have a little bit more power.
And number 31, Chuck Summers.
Now Butte College will take Gathers out and bring in Matt Short, so they'll utilize 3 wide receivers. To the left in order, Johnson, Atkins, and Short wide out. Injury timeout, I believe, for Gavilan as the player is down, but now they'll issue an official timeout to Gavilan as they have to attend to a player. They needed to take the timeout as Butte College broke the huddle. Down on the ground is number 61, Chuck Summers, defensive lineman, 6'3", 275-pounder, a sophomore for the Rams. Butte College has been dominant so far and has been all through the air. They've had no success on the ground whatsoever, Steve. And through the air, they set up that 1-yard touchdown plunge by Bebeau, and they lead 7-0.
Summers still on the field, and he's out of Mainland.
Time out on the field for an injured player.
As we mentioned, Butte College comes in probably as the underdog. If you just look on paper, if you just look at state rankings, with Gavilan being rated number 6, Butte College rated number 10. But if Butte College can come away with a victory, and many of us believe they can, they'll be rated in the top 5 once again. A school record last year, they finished the year number 4 in the state.
The Roadrunners, if you didn't note earlier, had just 2 losses on the year to Siskiyou this season.
So Chuck Summers is able to make his way off the field, and it's very interesting to look at these 2 defeats to Siskiyou, because both times Siskiyou had no problem putting points up on the board.
They were the only team to move the ball really effectively against the Roadrunners all year. I mean, there was a big disparity between them and the next best team.
2nd down and 9. Hughes play action fake to Gaithers, receiving pressure from the backside. He dumps it to Bebeau. Bebeau working to the 1st down, and he gets it inside the 20. He'll be dropped at the 19-yard line.
The Roadrunners are really doing a great job of mixing things up here.
And Steve, another un-Roadrunner characteristic that we're seeing here today, they're throwing to their fullback.
Yeah, statistically, that has not happened very often this season.
Hank Brown checks into the ball game as the ball is spotted inside the 20 on Gavilan's 19-yard line. Another scoring opportunity is there for Butte College. Hand up goes to Brown straight up the middle, and he's met immediately at the line of scrimmage. Another fine defensive effort. I believe the tackle was made by number 96, Mark Vanderpool.
Very effective run defense, and I just looked at Bebeau had 13 receptions coming into this game, and he already has several here in the first quarter, first half rather.
Hughes has been successful throwing to either Bebeau or his big tight end Mike Cooper out of Chico High. Once again, 3 wide receivers. The tight end is Cooper. Bebeau, single back. Short drop by Hughes. Looking down the middle of the field. Joe Johnson, touchdown!
Well, they're covering Johnson short and deep, and they're throwing it to him right when he's in between the 2 defenders.
Johnson splitting the zone down the middle, wide open. Fine pass by Joe Hughes. Butte College jumps out quickly to a 13-0 lead. And if Jim Merrill can put it through, there'll be 2 touchdowns up on Gavilan. Kick is up and it is blocked by Gavilan. Scooped up. If he can run it all the way back, he'll get a point, but he can't. Wasn't quite sure who screamed through to get the block. The ball was picked up by Bobby Abbott, number 46. So a little shift of momentum right there.
And that was the first shift to momentum of the day for the Rams, so hopefully they can build on that.
Regardless of how you look at it, Butte College is up 13-0, and that has to surprise Gavilan. We anticipated a relatively close game. That last drive is